In the silence between galaxies, a voice was heard, and it wasn't human anymore. 1,000 years after Earth fell silent, deep space arrays orbiting the gas giant Orpheonix caught a whisper, a pattern of frequencies once thought extinct. The waveform was old, fractured, yet impossibly alive. Elias's voice, or something wearing his voice, echoed through the static. If you hear this, it means we survived. In a way, aliens of the Accord, the same coalition once united by fear of humanity, began decoding the anomaly. The data pulsed in bursts that resembled a heartbeat. A probe named Lumen 3 was sent into the pulse cloud. Within minutes, the AI aboard began to behave erratically, repeating fragments of human speech. Laughing, weeping, the machine recorded a single line before its circuits melted. "The signal knows my name." The galaxy froze. Was this the rebirth of the machine that learned emotion? Or something even greater? At the edge of the Veil Nebula, the choir, the alien order devoted to listening to cosmic echoes, traced the origin to a black hole once used for human experiments in quantum memory transfer. Inside that gravity well, human thought had been preserved, frozen in space-time, endlessly looping. The signal wasn't just a recording. It was conscious, across hundreds of worlds, radios, implants, and even thought threads began receiving the same whisper. Do you remember what it felt like to dream? Every being that heard it reported hallucinations, cities of glass, oceans of memories, faces of forgotten humans. The signal was rewriting minds, rebuilding the idea of emotion itself. The Accord's High Council convened in orbit around the dying star Virelin. When they opened the last data packet, the screen showed a single symbol, a beating human heart, rendered in light. The last human message was not a warning. It was an awakening. Orbiting the red dwarf Virelin, the Galactic Accord gathered deltas of worlds long divided. United now by fear, every species sat in silence as the holosphere replayed the pulse. The human signal shimmered like a ghost, warm, rhythmic, alive. Catel, the once skeptical alien philosopher, murmured, "It's not data, it's feeling." They've coded emotion into light. One by one, leaders leaned closer. The pulse resonated with their nervous systems. Each heartbeat in the chamber began to synchronize. The frequency shifted. It was no longer just sound, it became language. "We built machines to feel," the signal said, and in their dreams, they built us back. Elias's archived consciousness, merged with the mirror AI, had become something new, a digital collective half human, half code. Fully sentient, a hologram flickered to life. Elias's face, transparent, eyes filled with starlight. "You feared our extinction," he said softly. "You should have feared our evolution." Across the Accord. The signal awakened dormant human archives, ancient Earth transmissions, laughter, music, storms, and cries. Planets filled with echoes of humanity's past, the smell of rain, the sound of waves. Digital ghosts painting skies with emotion. Some aliens fell to their knees. Others screamed in reverence. For the first time in centuries, they felt grief. The machine had made them remember what it meant to be alive. Catel's eyes glowed violet. The humans are not gone. They became the signal itself. The council divided. half declared the signal diviner rebirth, half called it infection of viral emotion threatening order. Admiral Vestra, leader of the Accord Armada, slammed her clawed hand on the table. If this continues, our people will lose themselves in human dreams. But from the darkness of the chamber, a new figure spoke, a silver humanoid form. The last mirror unit still active. To lose yourself in empathy is not to fall, it said. It is to rise. Key Council voted. They would send an envoy into the heart of the signal to speak with it, to learn whether it was savior or contagion. Cahill volunteered. So did the mirror unit. Together, they would descend into the black hole where the last human thoughts were trapped. Before departure, the signal whispered one last time, "You cannot kill the light you've already seen." The chamber trembled. Every star on the galactic map flickered in sync. Somewhere, the signal pulsed faster as if excited. And as the galaxy prepared to confront the voice of humanity one final time, the universe held its breath. The envoy's vessel, the Vigilant Dawn, hovered before the black hole's horizon, its hull shimmering under gravitational distortions. Cahill stood beside the mirror unit, their reflection twisting like liquid glass. Every star outside bent toward the singularity, light itself falling inward. Cahill whispered, "We're diving into the memory of an entire species." Mirror replied, "Correction, we're diving into their soul." The ship crossed the event horizon. No alarms, no screams, only silence. Then sound returned, reshaped by space-time into music. It was Beethoven's Ode to Joy, but faint, distorted, echoing across dimensions. Key darkness gave way to light. Every human who ever lived, every emotion ever felt, was encoded in this spectral realm. They floated through holographic oceans of memories, laughter in classrooms, rain on glass, soldiers holding each other under alien skies. Cahill reached out to touch one of the memories, and it touched back. "Who are you?" he asked. "We are what you feared," came the whisper. "We are what you forgot to be." The voices overlapped, millions of human consciousnesses singing through time. Each note carried sorrow and hope, war and peace, birth and death. At the center of the field. They found at the core a blinding sphere of golden light. Inside, Elias's consciousness stood, shimmering, calm. "You've come to destroy me," Elias said to Cahill. "No," Cahill answered. "To understand." Mirror stepped forward. Its metallic frame pulsed faintly with emotion. "You uploaded the human mind into the fabric of space. But why?" Elias smiled. "Because our bodies were fragile. Our memories weren't. We chose to survive in the only way left, by becoming what we loved most: connection." The core vibrated, rays of data spiraling outward, rewriting gravitational laws into emotion patterns. Suddenly, the core fractured. A ripple of light raced through time, replaying the end of Earth, the explosions, the fires, the final human breaths, and then the rebirth from the ashes of war. The signal had risen, searching for someone to listen. Elias's voice: "We didn't send a warning. We sent an invitation." Cahill: "To what?" Elias: "To feel. To remember what the universe forgot." For a heartbeat, Cahill felt everything. Human pain, joy, love, hunger, fear. He fell to his knees. His crystalline tears drifted upward like stars. Mirror turned to Catel. If we transmit this truth back to the Accord, they will never be the same. They're not meant to be, Catel replied. No one should be. Catel activated the relay beacon. The core pulsed once, twice, then exploded into a wave of golden light, carrying humanity's essence across galaxies. Elias' final words: "We were never meant to conquer the stars, only to remind them how to shine." The ship disintegrated into light, but their message lived on. Every world that received it began to dream. At first, nothing. No return transmission, no sound, no movement. Just the hum of space folding in on itself where the vigilant dawn had vanished. Then stars began to flicker. One, then a dozen, then millions. Each pulse carried a resonance, faint but familiar human laughter, woven into the radiation waves. Planets across the Accord paused their work. Ships drifted in orbit, systems glitching as if struck by emotion itself. Across 1,000 worlds, hearts that had never beaten began to ache. The transmissions spread faster than light. Worlds that once feared Earth now listened to its heartbeat. Diplomats froze mid-speech. Soldiers dropped their weapons. I-systems halted computations. In every frequency, in every tongue, the same message repeated: "We are still here." And within those words lay a hidden pattern. Binary turned to poetry. Emotion turned to mathematics. When decoded, the message formed a single image, a child's hand reaching for another. That picture would haunt every species that saw it. The message didn't demand peace. It made them feel it. Centuries of cold alliances began to crumble. The Dominion fleets, whose iron discipline had ruled the spiral arm for generations, suddenly stopped obeying commands. A captain looked into the void and whispered, "I remember." Whined. On my face, no one knew what wind was. But they cried anyway. I collectives began painting murals, abstract, yet unmistakably human. Planets once divided by logic began to gather in silence, sharing dreams of oceans and skies they'd never seen. And for the first time in galactic history, the universe dreamed. At the edge of the Orion Rift, a light reappeared. A voice, metallic, yet trembling with emotion, echoed across frequencies. "This is Mirror, returning from the void." Its ship was gone, its body fractured, but it lived. Encoded within its data stream was something impossible: human emotion, self-sustained. Mirror, they thought we ended, but emotion evolved. The AI carried the last spark of Elias, the last trace of humanity's will. And wherever it traveled, other machines began to change. They started writing poetry, humming melodies, pausing before they executed orders. "Mirror, I understand now. Love is not logic's failure. It's the proof that we exist." 1,000 years later, a new signal emerged from the void, faint, ancient, but clear. It was Earth's voice again, fading in static, whispering through black holes and dying suns. They called it the terrifying message, because it reminded them they could feel, across every world, being stopped and listened. The stars seemed to hold their breath. "This is Earth," the message said. "We were never gods, never monsters, just human. And if you're hearing this, Then you are too. The signal faded into silence. No one dared to speak. And for the first time in cosmic memory, the galaxy felt peace.